This weekend, the Lions play in their first postseason game at Ford Field, coming off of a hot season, topping the NFC North with a record 12 wins and 7 losses.
The team hasn't won a playoff game in 32 years since the 1991 team blew out the Dallas Cowboys 38-6 at the Pontiac Silverdome. Since then, they have lost 8 straight in the postseason.
Yeah, we are hoping for a change. We're talking with a man who knows what it takes to win in the postseason. Erik Kramer, thank you for being here with us. Former quarterback for the Lions, who led the team to that blowout over the Cowboys. So we're going to get your thoughts on the game, of course, in just a bit. But first, we want to talk about your book. You have a new book coming out. It's called The Ultimate Comeback. And in this, you talk about your struggles with mental health, how you overcome those things, and also how you're hoping to inspire others. Tell us about it.
Yeah, so the book covers quite a bit, but you mentioned depression, and something I dealt with while playing, not here in Detroit, but eventually in Chicago, and then at times, various times throughout my life, that went beyond football. And you know, unfortunately, things happen even no matter what it is in life you're doing. And so later, about 10 or 11 years after I was done playing, I went through a series of personal tragedies, meaning I had a son. My oldest son, Griffin, passed away from a heroin overdose. He'd come out of drug treatment about a year earlier. And then my mom, not long after Griffin passed away, succumbed to uterine cancer about 9 months later. And then around that time, my dad went on a downward spiral with acid reflux. It went untreated. It turned into esophageal cancer. So, you know, not to make, I don't feel lighthearted about this stuff, but I am on the other end of a suicide attempt, meaning that's how far that spiral went down. So I'm just really grateful and happy to be not where I wanted to be before.
It's something many people don't experience, that much tragedy in such a short amount of time. What made you decide to share all of this?
Well, I think just that there was a good story there to tell. And you know, a lot of people, I'm coming to find out, suffer from depression themselves. And if they don't, they know someone who does. And not that that's what the entire book is about, but it's a subject I think worth talking about. And certainly it led me down a path where I literally tried to I did shoot myself. And tried to make an exit, didn't. And so therefore, I think that's a really, you know, my story, what I'm saying to other people is don't. And there's always, when you think you're alone, you're not. And you lose perspective with depression of the aerial view of your life.
Yeah, depression is such a common thing. And, you know, a lot of people sometimes think success is synonymous with happiness. When you're sharing your story, are you finding that there are a lot of people who can relate?
Very much so. And success in no way equals happiness. In terms of, say, monetary, or people know you or don't know you, has nothing to do with that. And depression's not something that you can sort of anticipate coming either. But through friends and therapists and antidepressants and whatever support you can put around yourself, there are ways to cope, and are ways to actually, when you're younger, to even avoid something like that happening.
After pushing through that storm, what's life like for you now?
Well, I mean, when my feet hit the floor now every day, I'm the happiest guy out there. Wow. So there's, you know, part of the purpose I have is not just, it is the fact that I'm still here for the people that care, but it's also advancing projects that I want to get involved in. And one's a mental health program for kids and families. One's a passing camp for high school kids that's going to be coached by people like me, that not just me, but offense and defense.
So looking ahead to this weekend now, you were a part of that team, that the last successful playoff team here. So what are your predictions for this weekend?
Well, I think it's going to go a little bit like this season's gone for the Lions. And they've got a good offense, defense, group of special teams. They got, they just seem to be, they always do the right thing at the right time, right? And the game and the season doesn't always ascend, but it's a series of, you know, good plays, bad plays. As a team, they get their punches in too, But I think that there's a sort of a grit and a resilience to this team that finds its way to the finish line first.
Yeah. Erik, we are certainly looking forward to them coming back with a win. And of course, we are glad that you came here. Thank you for sharing your story.
Thank you.
Also, thank you for still being here with us to inspire so many people. We're glad to have you.
Thank you. I really appreciate this. Thank you.